Welcome back. National Non-Smoking Week is taking place across the country next week, and we are joined today by a couple of the TRU respiratory therapist students who are helping to put together a seminar that's taking place next week, January 25th. Sitting next to me, Brooke Madsen. Sitting in the middle, Cindy Ho, and their instructor at the end, Erin Ladd. Welcome to Midday.
Hi. Thank you. Thanks for having us.
So welcome. First of all, how's school going?
Well, last semester was pretty tough, but we made it through and
good.
Back here for next term.
Okay, good. So more of a cruise control semester this semester, or
absolutely
still
not?
There's the lecturer chiming in, not so much. So this is a pretty intensive course.
Yeah, very much.
Good for you guys. So National Non-Smoking Week, obviously it has everything to do with what you're being trained for. You want to see people butt out. So what's happening next week for you guys?
So I guess like it says, National Non-Smoking Week is an event across Canada. So us being respiratory therapists, we really want to promote the effects of not smoking, different ways you can quit smoking, the resources that you can have access to. So next week, the type of events that we have on campus, we have some cigarette butt pickups. We've got a bunch of different kiosks around the city, as well as on campus, just to explain a little bit about what's happening to your airways when you smoke, your cells, resources available to you, as well as this conference that we're having on Thursday, which we want to aim to get the public to come to.
Okay, so that's next Thursday night at the House of Learning.
Yeah.
Perhaps you could tell me a little bit, Cindy, about who is going to be there speaking.
Well, we actually have our instructor, Erin, speaking on Thursday as well, and we have a community respiratory therapist coming in. Her name is Jacqueline, and she'll be speaking about her role as a community therapist, how she can help us as students, how to get into the community work, because right now respiratory therapists are mostly in critical care in the hospital. And then she can also talk about the role of a community therapist for the public and how they can get in touch and how they can get the resources they need.
Would you say at this day and age the tools and resources available for people looking to butt out are more available than ever in terms of cessation products, etc.? I know that you can get certain things now over the counter. You don't have to have a prescription. You can go to the pharmacy and say, hey, I want to buy Nicorettes or whatever. Like those sorts of things are free. Is that the case?
They're free for 3 months.
Okay, so it's a start, right?
So we do have coverage now, and which is quite good compared to the rest of the country. We actually have quite a bit of coverage, which does absolutely help. We're helping people be able to figure out where and how they can get the product, but more importantly, how to use it correctly. Because one of the challenges we see is people have access, but then using it incorrectly, they're kind of setting themselves up to fail. So we want them to be successful in their attempts to quit.
What's an example of using it incorrectly? Like having a Nicorette patch on and lighting up a cigarette, chewing the gum all at the same time? You're gonna, like, that's incorrect, that's extreme, but people
Actually,
sometimes
believe
don't
it or
use
not,
right.
you might be surprised that that might not always be incorrect.
Oh.
And that's where having somebody who specializes in being able to counsel and to be able to walk through what the process is so essential. And that's one of the things we do at TRU is to train our students to be able to walk through the steps and how they can help. So sometimes some individuals, we may have them using nicotine replacement and reducing to quit. These are, the new evidence is starting to suggest different things.
Do you have any sort of stats on how many people are smoking these days? I mean, in university, I just wonder what the campus is like now compared to what it used to be when I went to university, for example, with smokers.
Yeah, so I guess currently across Canada, just this is not university, but 15% of women smoke and 20% of men smoke. Across a study in university, actually this is pretty interesting, is that in the amount of students that they surveyed, 29% of them actually called themselves smokers. But then being 78% of them were actually non-daily tobacco smokers. That being, you know, they're casual smokers. But at the end of the day, that's still classified as a smoker.
Sure.
They might not realize it, but it actually really is. And they're the people that, at the end of the day, don't realize that they need support, but they really do.
Absolutely.
And quite often, half of those non-daily smokers become daily smokers themselves.
Sure. So they're leading themselves to a certain place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And these numbers are highly underreported because they're surveyed by the phone, and so people who don't get to answer the call don't get to report themselves. And then if you don't consider yourself a tobacco user, then you'll say that you're a non-smoker.
Right. How much of your guys' course is geared towards this? I mean, not all of it, certainly. There's all kinds of different parts of your course that deal with all sorts of different things, but...
Yeah, I mean, we start from the basic level, like learning about the airways and simple things like if you have asthma, like what happens to your cells, and if you don't, or you're not on certain medications. But we do definitely have we have a pharmacology class where we talk about all the different drugs used in the airways across the body, how those affect us, and then as well as certain disease processes that all lead to effects from smoking or things like that.
And Erin actually teaches the courses for tobacco cessation and COPD as well.
Okay, so people looking to come to this next Thursday night, no judgment.
No.
Even if you're not sure that you're ready, it's good to get your mind going.
Yeah,
right?
if you have someone that is thinking about quitting, or you have yourself that wants to quit and just wants a little bit more information, this is definitely the place to come. All good scientific educational evidence, and as well as the right community of people to be involved with.
What were you going
One
to
of the
say?
advantages with this situation is as you're coming in, we're giving you the opportunity to hear the basic latest way that we're helping people quit smoking. But more important, we're helping people to recognize that the process is doable. We know that 1.7 million people who use tobacco products now want to quit. And we know that about 40% want to quit in the next 30 days. Being the new year, this is a perfect time for us to help provide some of the true basic fundamental tips, but more importantly, some of the practical stuff that over the years we've determined does help. We know that people want to quit, and now more than ever, we have a lot more resources to help.
Fantastic. I really appreciate you guys being here today. It sounds like there's things going on campus throughout the week, but Thursday is the evening where people can sit down and talk to the experts, listen to the experts.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you would like to add that I have not asked you?
So just, I guess, for the event, there's free parking, 6:30 to 8:30. Feel free to come, bring your family. Anyone can attend. So it's not
Fantastic.
just for healthcare professionals.
Okay, you guys, thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you for
right.
having us.
Very welcome. National Non-Smoking Week taking place next week across the country. If you would like to get involved in this particular seminar going on next Thursday night at the House of Learning, you can certainly do that. As mentioned, parking is free. It starts at 6:30, and everyone is welcome to come. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Stay with us.